welcome to this explainer. Okay, today I want to ask you to do something totally radical. I want you to literally strip away everything you think you know about yourself. Every single label, every title, all those stories you've been comfortably telling yourself for years. Yeah, we're tearing down that facade today. Because, humanity has been haunted by this one fierce, unyielding question for thousands of years. It's not about what you do or where you live or what people think of you. It's a full-on rebellion against all those surface-level distractions. The real question is, who are you when absolutely everything else is taken away?
Imagine it with me, right now. You wake up tomorrow and boom, your job is just gone. The title on your desk, the company you work for, that daily grind you're so used to, evaporated into thin air. Without that 9-to-5 narrative anchoring you, who is the protagonist of your story? Let's take it a step further. Picture a reality where your standing in society is completely erased. Your bank account, your neighborhood, your online followers, wiped totally clean. That invisible hierarchy you've spent your life climbing? It doesn't exist anymore. Who are you standing there in the rubble? Really think about that for a second. If the world suddenly had amnesia about you, would you still recognize yourself? Because when there's no audience, no applause, and no external expectations, well, that is exactly where you confront the naked, thrilling truth of your core identity. That is where your real story actually begins.
Section 1. Meet the reflective self, the awakening of the human mind.
Now, this awakening, it's a radical act of rebellion. It's the ultimate refusal to just sleepwalk through your days on autopilot. Because here's the secret. Our mind's ultimate superpower isn't just basic everyday intelligence. It's this profound, incredibly dynamic ability to turn inward, to observe itself and question itself. It's kind of like a superpower that turns you into a time traveler in your own consciousness, allowing you to imagine a future that doesn't even exist yet and remember a past that is completely gone.
And this mechanism, it's your ticket to psychological liberation. According to the Self-Harmonization Theory, which was developed by Farzin Forouzani and Professor Phil Reed, this incredible capacity is known as the reflective self. Unlike the parts of you that just want to survive or, fit in with the crowd, this part seeks pure, unadulterated understanding. It is the literal sculptor of your true identity.
Section 2. Turning experience into meaning, the narrative of choice. You see, wisdom isn't somehow guaranteed just because you're alive. Just breathing and aging doesn't magically make you wise, right? Wisdom has to be actively forged. It's like, imagine two people reading the exact same book. The passive reader finishes the last page, closes it, and bam, the story's over. But the active reader, they spend hours thinking about it. They connect ideas, they question assumptions, and they actually start seeing their own life differently. You're either passively reading the story of your life, or you are actively authoring it.
Section 3. The power of choice, creating distance.
That active authorship we just talked about, it unlocks a revolutionary tool. It creates this crucial gap between our raw, messy experiences and our automatic reactions. So when sudden, blinding anger strikes, the reflective self doesn't just, throw a punch. It boldly steps outside the emotion, looks right at it, and interrogates it, asking, why am I angry? It flat out refuses to be a slave to the feeling.
And when panic sets in, this internal dialogue just keeps going, stripping away the surface-level anxiety to uncover the naked truth. It asks, what am I really afraid of? It unmasks the entire illusion of fear.
Even in the face of so-called success, like when you've achieved everything society told you to achieve, this inner voice still dares to challenge the status quo. It asks, is this truly the life I wanted? It proves we absolutely aren't condemned to automatic robotic reactions. We don't just have to blindly accept the script we were handed.
Which brings us to this thrilling 3-step formula that grants us the greatest gift of being human, total agency over our actions. Step 1, pause. Step 2, reflect. Step 3, choose. In that tiny little pause, in that brief moment of reflection, you take back the pen to write your own story. You choose exactly who you're going to be in that moment.
Section 4, the shadow of overthinking, the trap.
But listen closely, because every revolution definitely has its pitfalls. Getting trapped inside your own thoughts isn't a lack of intelligence. Actually, it's a dangerous disconnect where reflection creates confusion instead of clarity. When the reflective self loses its balance, thinking turns into endless rumination. The future becomes pure anxiety, the past becomes heavy regret, and you become paralyzed. The reflective self was never designed to just sit in a dark room and think alone, It requires action.
Section 5. Harmonizing the Mind, Uniting the Three Selves. So this brings us out of the shadows. The ultimate goal of your psychological well-being isn't to kill off parts of yourself. It's actually about bringing them into a profound, unified alignment. Think of these three selves as fierce advocates in your mind. The bodily self is your protector, always asking, "Can I survive?" The expressive self seeks connection, asking, "Do I belong?" And the reflective self is your visionary, asking, "Who am I becoming?" They are all completely essential.
Lasting well-being doesn't come from suppressing these inner conflicts. It comes from achieving this beautiful, balanced harmony. It emerges when all three selves cooperate as equals. Think of it like a perfect 33.3% split, where your survival, your connection, and your understanding are all working together seamlessly to propel you forward.
What this ultimately means is that your identity is a continuous, active creation. It is being sculpted in real time by your own reflective power. Every decision you make, every lesson you learn, every crushing mistake, and every soaring success, they all pass through the fire of reflection before they become woven into the fabric of who you are. You, my friend, are the master blacksmith of your own identity.
And so the greatest psychological question isn't some static, "Who am I?" Actually, it's a dynamic evolutionary challenge. Who am I becoming? Really think about that. Because in our next explainer on the self-harmonization theory, we're going to bring all three selves together and explore exactly how their dynamic interaction shapes your motivation, your decisions, and your ultimate well-being. Thank you so much for watching, and stay curious.